An old and frightening folklore tale where no one really knows if it happened, if it is true, and what darkness really lies behind each disturbing urban legend. Yes, these urban legends, those unsubstantiated stories of terror that allow us to use our imaginations to fill in increasingly horrifying details with each retelling. Those horrifying folklore tales that have been told around the campfire for centuries and are enshrouded in darkness, mystique, and a pervading atmosphere of evil, and ones that no one can really testify as to their actual truth. So here is this week's Urban Campfire Tale, and I will let you make your mind up as to whether there is any truth behind it. This one is a strange story and one that will give you food for thought and test your appetite to believe in stories such as Annabelle and the like, and if they've got any substance to them. Teddy bears, dolls, being evil and possessed, haunted? Nah, poppycock. Or is it, my friend? Or is it just so simple and innocent? You can be the judge after hearing this particular tale. This is the tale of Robert the Doll, an allegedly haunted doll exhibited at the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida. Robert the Doll was unleashed in 1904 by the Stef Company. The German toy manufacturer claimed that Robert was never intended as a consumer product, but rather as a mannequin for window displays. He quickly became far more than that, a doll that haunted whoever dared to cross him. Robert was once owned by painter, author and Key West resident Robert Eugene Otto, and he was an artist described as eccentric who belonged to a prominent Key West family. Robert the Doll was reportedly manufactured by the Stef Company of Germany and was later purchased by Otto's grandfather whilst he was on a trip to Germany in 1904, and he was the one who gave it to young Otto as a birthday gift. Some say that a Bohemian maid of Otto's family imbibed the doll with voodoo magic and gifted it to Otto as retribution for the family's trespasses. Now Otto was overjoyed at his new gift. He took it everywhere. He even dressed the black-eyed doll in a sailor suit that he wore as a baby. The doll's sailor suit was likely an outfit that Otto wore as a child, and as such, the doll remained stored in the Otto family home at 534 Eaton Street in Key West, whilst Otto studied art in New York and Paris. According to legend, the doll has supernatural abilities that allow it to move, change its facial expressions, and make giggling sounds. Other stories claim that the doll moved figurines around the room and was aware of what went on around him. Other legends also claim that the doll vanished after the Otto's house changed ownership a number of times after his death, or that young Otto triggered the doll's supernatural powers by blaming his childhood mishaps on the doll. According to local folklore, the doll has caused car accidents, broken bones, job loss, divorce, and a cornucopia of other misfortunes, and museum visitors supposedly experienced post-visit misfortunes for failing to respect Robert the Doll. In one instance, a plumber once swore he heard a child's laugh coming from inside the house, though nobody was home. He then noticed that Robert had moved from one side of the room to the other. He also claimed that toys that had been in the doll's lap had somehow ended up on the floor halfway across the room. During Otto's possession of Robert the Doll, he then later married Annette Parker in Paris on the 3rd of May 1930, and the happy couple returned to Otto's family home in Key West to live there until Otto died in 1974, with his wife dying just 2 years later. Now, after their deaths, the Eaton Street home containing the doll was sold to Myrtle Reuter, who owned it for 20 years until the property was then sold to the current owners, who operate it as a guest house. And in 1994, the doll was donated to the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida, where, as I say, it became very popular as a tourist attraction as Reuter became fed up with the history of the doll. It was here, after settling into its new home in the museum storage room, that the place received countless letters begging for Robert's forgiveness. People came in droves to see the pock-marked toy. The unsettling toy had been described as supernatural by many, and everyone seemed to acknowledge that this doll was haunted, possessed, and downright bloody evil. Despite all of this furore, the museum didn't make a single announcement about the doll's history, but the museum finally put Robert on display, but behind safety glass. To this day, after more than a century, inexplicable happenings surround the mysterious doll. Many people have tried to take a picture of him, only to find that their cameras suddenly don't work. The horror story now continues on more than a century after it began. So just how real and scary is Robert the Doll? What do you think? Let me know. Guys, thanks for watching. Catch you for the next story. Cheers.